Hey guys, Justin from Simplified Investing. This is our weekly watch list video highlighting a few stocks we are watching this week as well as a key market breakdown. Hope you guys enjoy. So, getting things started right away, first thing I'm going to be doing is breaking down SPY. As you guys know, it's the S&P 500 indice. And really interesting price action here that we saw. We basically went from having a big bearish day then into this inside bar day after this washout. And really you can see this from the daily chart better. So this is the first attempted sign of a higher low here. So you can see this low reversal here on 818, and you can see this low. Obviously this low is higher than that low, indicating a higher low, potential change of the structure. I would not want to see a breakdown below 434.91. If we do get a breakdown below that, I do think we test this pivot down here around 433 and below that into this prior pivot down here into 431.26. Really interesting price action here on 824. We gapped up into 445 resistance, which was this prior support area. And really the market tanked strictly from NVIDIA. NVIDIA spiked up on earnings, the market gapped up, and all of a sudden it just dumped the whole day following NVIDIA as NVIDIA sold off and people took profits from that spike up into 500. Now we get this outside bar here and really thought below this candle low we would see a rollover and continuation, but that's not what price presented, and we ended up basically bouncing from 435 to a close almost at 440 into 441.60. So we can see this on a shorter time frame chart. You can see we break down here, we reject, and we push down, break that prior day close and that prior day low, and then we get this move to the downside here. And ultimately, we're testing near the support here, and we rally all the way up, hit this high of day, and reject for a double and triple top. So again, key level here for an outside bar. I really want to play this candle high and this candle low. Anything below this low looking very weak for that move lower. Anything above 441.60 here, I do think we can test back up into this 445 area overhead. Again, a lot of the selling here from that movement on NVIDIA from earnings. If you look at it, we are still in this descending wedge. You can see we're continuously testing this channel extreme. We broke out here during the pre-market and traded back into range here. So something to note, still in that hourly range here. When we do go to the 4 hour, we're also still in range here. Something for you guys to note here. And then again, from a weekly chart perspective, bearish and then a bullish inside bar here within that channel. So keeping an eye on that, we'll be watching that going forward. Now let's touch up on the VIX. 1731 continues to be a key area, and you can see this on even the 5-minute chart. You can see this reject, reject, reject. And then if you go out into the daily chart, also support over here. So going out to the daily, you can see just how important 1731 and 1818 are. They're going to be key levels to keep on watch here when you are looking at this. It is oversold, but it is also still a very, very weak. Not much for price action. You got this bounce. Everyone was panicking off of the NVIDIA earnings and the market pulling back, and then you get this reject and this stuff lower. So 1731, 1818, two good levels for you guys to keep on watch this week. Now for the NASDAQ, taking a quick look at the NASDAQ futures here, similar price action where we barely cracked this prior day's close on the futures, but we are still above this prior pivot here on 818. So anything above this prior pivot, still looking like a potential change of structure here or a distribution phase versus a markdown phase here where we got the spike up, fail, and then earlier we made this lower low. So watching this level, nice retest of this area and hold on the NASDAQ. I want to see it follow through and make at least a move up into 15,112 instead of making that gap or that breakdown of 14,800 and below this prior day's low, where we'd likely then see 14,674 below that and below this pivot, then down into that 14,269 zone. Now, a few individual names to keep on watch, and one thing I'm noting here, the first one, an interesting setup, and it unfortunately has terrible liquidity, is going to be Moderna. You get this washout, failed bear trap, and then you see these shorts coming at this bear flag low, pops down, spike, spike, inside bar, breakout range, follow through. Now we're forming like this flag pattern here. So really anything over this 115 area, I do think we test up into like this 116.84, 118.60. Really looking for the first daily candle to make a new high. So we get this move up here, but lower high here. Want to see a higher high here, breaking this prior candle's high. If we do get another inside bar here on Monday at this 112 area, I will use that high as an influx point for that first candle to make a daily new high. But again, very strong setup here. There's rumors going around about COVID. I think that's what's causing some of this movement here. You can see it in NVAX too. It's obviously in a distribution phase after this sell-off here. Consolidation, now we're getting these spikes in volume. So keeping an eye on this one as well. Now, what I want to go into on the next one is that's extremely weak. AMC completing that split, or I believe it was the merger or conversion of Ape shares, whatever it may be, super weak. And we get this gap down, attempt rally here, so stairs up and then elevator straight down. Everyone's just getting flushed out of this, washing out. It's extremely weak, hitting lows here. If we go even out to the weekly chart, hitting lows, I think eventually this is where you get everyone to stop out. Now, this could be a good long opportunity once all these bag holders get out, but as for right now, the direction is still lower and something I would keep on watch to look for the downside. Again, huge weekly volume here, largest weekly volume we've gotten since basically June of 2021 when we had this massive run. So keep that in mind. A lot of times when you see these influxes of volume, they can be bounce or reversal points. But still looking to the downside here if we get more selling pressure to hop on board with AMC. Now, if we get any sign of strong daily buying, I may look to long this after everyone's getting washed out, shaken out, and then really it leaves people on the sidelines first off, but it also gets those sellers out of the way that were bag holders before. Now they have no position, and it makes it easier for this move higher. As for me, really, if we break like 1657, maybe watch that gap fill up into this 19 to 20 area. There are some gaps here that can get filled on any strength, but any weakness, again, like I mentioned, ideally maybe below this like 1240 area, we'll be watching the downside on this name. One other setup I want to touch up quick is going to be AFRM. Daily gapper on volume. I do not like the crazy amount of volume, but the earnings weren't terrible. So we get this gap up, you can expect volume. I think a lot of what happened is all these shorts that piled in here on Thursday getting popped and then stopped out here on Friday. You can see this trend continuation higher. Watching the move over 18 here for that run up into that 1952 area. So with that being said, that wraps up our watch list video for the week. If you did enjoy this video, if you could please smash that like button, it would be greatly appreciated. If you are interested in checking out our team, feel free to head to simplified-investing.com today. Hope you guys all have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. Thank you.